like a Hellcat.
See the lights go out and racing can get back underway at Macau, the Greater Bay Area GT Cup. One of the Ginettas, one of them was just having a look at the back of the crossbow. Would have been the number 7 machine of Lei Kit Meng from Macau, but thinking better of it, it's been the story that the KTM crossbow and the Mercedes really do have the advantage just over the Ginettas, so they pull away. Once again, David Poon it is that leads in car number 91, the Z Challenge, the Team TRC Mercedes AMG, turning through Lisboa out of San Francisco. They go up through the mountain section, but very, very good start by Lei Kit Meng, able to put a bit of distance back to 4th place. So that's the top 2 through on the mountain section down towards Teddy Ip, the left-hander, into the Solitude S's. Ginetta in 3rd place, that's Lei Kit Meng in the RPM Racing Team Ginetta G55 GT4 car. It really is an extraordinary car, the KTM Crossbow GT4 car, but a fantastic GT car. Very, very striking in appearance, and so too the Mercedes AMG GT4 car. Into Police, out of Police, accelerate down towards Moorish, carefully balance the car out of the corner. The exit tyre stack can be very intimidating on the exit of Moorish corner, through the long left-hander at Donna Maria, up towards the Melco hairpin. Top 2 once again, as we saw in the qualification race yesterday, have already pulled away, but so too has Lei Kit Meng in 3rd place. Very good opening lap on the restart for Lei Kit Meng, the Macau driver in the Ginetta G55 GT4 car. The Mercedes AMG GT4, David Poon about to come up towards the final turn and complete lap number 1 of the restart. The timing screen is unfortunately not updating for us as they complete the first lap of the restart, and number 39 car of Li Yen Han in the Ginetta G55. Good battle with Dickie Churn, so quite a lot of Ginettas to have relatively equal performance, and good racing can ensue between them, as we're about to see with Dickie Churn having a look down on the inside. That manoeuvre is not quite going to work, slots in behind the 39 car of Li Yen Han. So the very equally suited Ginetta G55 GT4, same cars that we have in the UK. He's having a look down on the inside, makes the manoeuvre stick as well. Great manoeuvre by Dickie Churn down at Lisboa. That is one of the premium overtaking positions on the circuit, and that was executed beautifully by Dickie Churn. Aha, timing screen back into action. 3 laps completed now. Confirmation, David Poon it is that leads, the Hong Kong driver. And this battle between Ginettas, reminiscent of the Ginetta GT4 Super Cup that gives us so much entertainment in the UK as part of the support package for the British Touring Car Championship. Been a long time part of the support package. Brilliant racing cars. Ginetta, the UK manufacturer, based up around Leeds in the north of England. The boss of Ginetta cars, Lawrence Tomlinson, the chairman, and he is a racer himself. His young son Freddie has just stepped into racing in Ginetta juniors in the UK. So Lawrence, being a racer himself, knows what is needed for competitive racing, reliable race cars, and that is exactly what Ginetta provide. And what a fantastic story of a British car manufacturer Ginetta is. That's the leader in the Mercedes, out on his own. Looking in the background to see the KTM, it comes around the corner, and the advantage, 4 laps completed now by David Poon. The advantage at the end of the last lap was 6.5 seconds over the KTM, which you can see just in the background. Does look very, very impressive, doesn't it, with the light showing through Lisboa. It's been a faultless weekend for David Poon in the Mercedes. The Mercedes, as far as I can remember, has not missed a beat as the weekend has gone on. 3-day meeting this year rather than the traditional 4-day meeting, and they've not given up, have they? Still a great battle between the two Ginettas down to Lisboa. Dickie Churn battling away with the 39 Ginetta of Li Yanhan, the Parkview Motor G55 GT4 car. 2 of them are contesting 4th place, so just outside the podium positions. But so far, they have been absolutely tied together in their Ginetta battle. Threading through the mountain section, number 1 car of Dickie Churn, Li Yanhan in the 39 car. Such a technical circuit, the gear circuit at Macau, and with the obvious constraints of it being a street circuit, no runoffs, there is no room for error, but you have to plant the car with absolute perfection. And this little Ginetta battle doing exactly that at the moment. This the battle for 4th place. A moment being led by Dickie Churn. He's got a bit of daylight between himself now and the number 39 car of Li Yanhan. Through the Macau hairpin. Accelerate down now. Final sector on the timing screen, 4 sectors in total. Fastest lap of the race, you might not be too surprised. It is by the dominance at the front of the field, David Poon. Poon Kwan Lun, 2:34.859, the fastest lap of the race so far. 5 laps in the book by the top 2. The leader and 2nd place, KTM Crossbow of Chang Chiang Shang, both onto lap number 6 in a 12-lap race. Car number 7 we haven't seen for a little while on our screens. It's the number 7 car of Lei Kit Meng in his RPM racing team Ginetta G55 GT4 car. Personal best of a 2:43.778, which compares to the overall best lap by David Poon with a 2-minute 34.859. Already into the traffic, ticking off the number 35 car of Wilson Poon. Poon Ren Hung. So the first of the traffic being dealt with, such is the speed differential on the field. Now, having a look at Lo Hioi Fong coming together with the number 4 car of Matt Car Lock, and not too much damage, but a little bit of bodywork damage, just getting a bit too close, side by side. So these being battles down the order, being a battle for 10th place, I think, as the Mercedes AMG GT4 of David Punn through the Macau hairpin. Open the car up, down through Black Sands on the one towards Fisherman's. This the final sector of the circuit from now on amongst traffic. 6 laps complete at the conclusion of this lap, past the little Lotus Elise, the number 89 car of Learnchuk Nye. David Punn, car number 91, up towards the line, ticking off now 6 laps in the book for David Punn. The Mercedes AMG GT4 car goes on to the second half of the race, waiting for the little KTM to come across the line. Chang Shang, some 8.8 seconds behind. Really has been demonstration stuff by the Mercedes this weekend of David Punn. The car simply hasn't missed a beat, settling the car on the run in towards Lisboa, through Lisboa. One of those great overtaking opportunities on the gear circuit here at Macau. Just gone 11 o'clock in the morning, local time here in Macau. The weather looks set to be a very, very nice day indeed for the spectators that are lucky enough to be in the grandstands that pepper the circuit around these great vantage points around the gear circuit. Having a look at the number 7 Janetta in third place of local driver Lei Kit Meng. Lei Kit Meng's best lap at 2:42.041 compares to the best lap of the race by the race leader, and that's the Mercedes AMG of David Punn with a 2:34.859. Traffic very much a feature of the Greater Bay Area GT Cup. Such are the speed differentials from front to the back of the grid. So second half of the race, the slower cars taking heed of the marshals with the blue flags around the circuit, and following the Macau driver Lei Kit Meng in the very bright and colourfully liveried Janetta. There we go, there's the KTM Crossbow. Love this car, the 88 car of Chang Shang. So as far as the regions are concerned, it's quite a mix on the potential podium at the moment, with David coming from Hong Kong, Chang Shang coming from Taipei in the KTM, and the Janetta of Lei Kit Meng from Macau. So all of the regions well represented for the potential podium for our Greater Bay Area GT Cup race. KTM developed the Crossbow initially in collaboration with Kiska Design, Audi and Dallara, and it really is a very innovative car and a very impressive car to see in the flesh. Looks pretty good on TV as well, doesn't it? The blue flags waving as back markers are dealt with by Chang Shang, Taipei driver. But a very, very striking machine indeed, KTM Crossbow. Good battle there with the blue flags waving to allow the number 48 car of Joe Kwok, Kwok Kai Wing, to know that the second place car is coming through, but they are having a good battle of their own, so this is not a good place to come up against a collection of Lotus all battling away together. So the three Lotus do get the idea and allow their battle to recommence once the KTM Crossbow has made it through. Still got more Lotus to deal with. So the race leader, David Poon, leading in the Mercedes AMG GT4 car from our Chinese Taipei driver in second place, Chang Qianshang. In the KTM Crossbow, we have 7 laps in the book for our race leader, 8 laps now, with 4 laps to go. David Poon, not only with the fastest lap of the race, but also a goodly advantage over the second place car of Chang Qianshang. Oh dear, the 48 Lotus, well, Joe Kwok was involved at the back of that multiple Elise battle, multiple car battle, but that seemed to be seemingly on his own, and a hefty bash on the rear into the barrier. So not as a result of contact in that great little battle that we had for those Lotus Elise, but just on the tail end of the battle and hitting the barrier. You also saw on that, we're getting great television pictures this year, such beautiful high definition pictures, and you could see when the Elise hit the barrier how well they work at absorbing the energy. See it just flex and then go back into its original position. Every year more investigation is done into the materials that are used for barriers around the circuit. FIA, of course, have been very involved with Macau over recent years, and safety very much part of the progress being made in motorsport. So a great example there when the Lotus, the back end of the Lotus, hit the barrier to see the absorption of the energy, and a sad retirement as well. So the race leader, David Poon, Hong Kong driver, makes his way up towards the Melco hairpin. So we have a safety car being deployed for the recovery of that Lotus, and for the second time in this race we will see the race being interrupted. Quite hopeful that this interruption could be relatively short interruption. However, what it may well give us is the closing of the gap between the top two, which had been 6.5 seconds at the end of lap number 8, but now down to safety car speed. Lotus just down there on the starting grid, needing to be recovered, and great disappointment for Joe Kwok. Good to see him climbing out of the car and getting through the barriers. The BMW safety car picks up the race leader. So David Poon. Behind the BMW now, and the rest of the field will all catch up in a couple of moments. So all the work that David Poon has done to get that substantial gap will have to be done again in the closing laps of the race. 3 laps to go. We are under safety car, and it has, of course, picked up the race leader, and then one of the cars that needs to be lapped by the second place car of Chang Chen Shang, the KTM, and that will be Leung Kin Ong, the Macau driver, in that almost Italian flag liveried little Lotus Elise, certainly the colours in between. So the meat and the sandwich, if you like, between the top two in the race is the number 14 car, the Lotus Exige. Great looking car, that. And just behind the second place car is Lo Hio Fong, the Macau driver, in second of those Lotus Exige that you see in this safety car view, leading the field around. Everyone else needs to catch up with those four cars now to join onto the train, all for the recovery of the number 48 car of Joe Kwok, Kwok Kwai Wing. So they're getting there, they are catching up now. Opportunity at slow safety car pace for the whole field to catch up. So the race leader, number 91, David Pun. Second place, number 88, Chang Chen Shang. Lei Kit Meng in third place in car number 7 in the Ginetta, the G55 GT4 car. And so 3 regions all represented on the 3 steps of the podium. It's the BMW heading the Mercedes. There we go. Lift vehicle in place. They are so adept at these recoveries at Macau. Really do have huge experience of how to recover cars and get racing back underway as quickly as possible. And it's a big event for all the marshals that are around the circuit. They pride themselves on their professionalism at getting the circuit ready to get racing back underway, and they do it to a very, very high standard indeed. So they're about to complete at the end of this lap, and not through the Melco hairpin yet, but once they go down towards the start line and complete the next lap, it will be 10 laps in a 12-lap race that will have been completed. I reckon that the recovery will be pretty much finished by the time the safety car comes upon the incident area for the 48 car of Joe Kwok. So we might get a resumption of the race for 2 laps. It looks to me like the lights are out on the safety car. So once again, well done to the marshals. Fantastic job of getting the circuit clear. A final weave of the car to maintain the heat in the tyres, and as they come around Fisherman's, the circuit opens up nice and wide, so good opportunity to weave the cars just to maintain maximum temperature and get racing back underway, controlled from the front. He's gone quickly as well. As soon as the safety car pulls out, it's controlled by the race leader, David Pun, and the KTM Crossbow now needs to get past the number 14 Exige, which gets neatly out the way. The Ginetta battles, the Lotus battles could all resume over the space of 2 laps, but advantage the race leader by a long way as well. David Pun able to get his foot on the gas nice and quickly, pulled out the advantage straight away over the KTM crossbow of Chang Qianshang. And yeah, as if these battles weren't close enough, getting the safety car out has made the Lotus battles join on with the Ginetta battles as well. So they all make their way through, and we have cars that need to be lapped. So quite an exciting last couple of laps for the Greater Bay Area GT Cup as they make their way up the mountain section. That is Lei Kit Meng, the Macau driver, in third place in the Ginetta G55 GT4 car. Up towards the wall, Teddy Ip into the Solitude S's. And these Ginetta battles have raged race long still, with Dickie Cheung, and I'm not sure he can overtake there, Li Yinhan, but certainly just making Dickie Cheung well aware that he was there through the mountain section would take bravery. Can be done. Overtaking can happen in the heat of battle. We've seen it happen, we've seen it work as well. We've also seen it go a bit wrong, and that is the potential danger of having a very close battle in this very technical part of the circuit. Lei Kit Meng it is in third place, the Macau driver, through the Melco hairpin, threads the Ginetta G55 around the hairpin, back to our race leader, about to go on to the final lap for the Mercedes. Across the line he goes, David Pun with the number 91 Mercedes leading the race. A race that got underway, then was red flagged. They had to reform on the grid. Didn't find a reason for the cessation of the race. Then had to wait for another start, a safety car start we had. So this the battle, or it did get too close, didn't it? And oh dear, the two touch, and the car that came off the worst was Dickie Cheung. So it was a very, very close battle between those two Ginettas, and eventually the two came together, and Dickie Cheung slightly came to grief. The Ginetta not looking completely showroom condition anymore, but the Ginettas are very much designed that bodywork can come off, and the actual structure of the car absolutely fine, can carry on, continue to race with unabated pace as well. So we'll see if that's the case for Dickie Cheung. Pretty sure it will be. He can continue and finish the race. But meanwhile, the race leader has been exemplary all weekend for the 2020 Macau Grand Prix weekend. Heads up towards Police, the right-hander, through Police, on towards Moorish, and a very safe gap over second place, Chang Qianshang, through Donna Maria, long left-hander, and then down towards the Melco hairpin. Brake, turn in, big car, the Mercedes GT4, to get through the Melco hairpin. And on the exit, the barriers very, very close indeed to the bodywork of the GT cars. But David Pun has had a great weekend here at Macau, and maybe collected a little bit, the picture cut away there, but could potentially have collected a bit of bodywork debris on the circuit coming through Fisherman's Bend. But round our bend to see the checkered flag for the second time this weekend. David Pun takes the win for Hong Kong on the top step of the podium for the second time. The qualification race and the 12-lap Greater Bay Area GT Cup race. David Punn takes the win in the Team TRC Mercedes AMG, and second place once again, as it was during the qualification race, number 88 Chang Qian Shang in the MP Racing KTM Crossbow GT4 from Chinese Taipei, and in third place the Macau driver Lei Kitmeng. So it really has been a demonstration of supremacy for the Mercedes driver this weekend, in free practice on Friday, in qualification and the qualification race, and in the big race as well for the Greater Bay Area GT Cup. Hong Kong's David Punn really has thrown down the challenge to the rest of the field and ended up supreme in the Mercedes. Mercedes first and second last year in the Greater Bay Area GT Cup. Third step of the podium last year was an Aston Martin. This year it's Mercedes, KTM and Ginetta as they, on the slow down lap, head into police. Local time here in Macau, 22 minutes past 11 in the morning. Warmer and warmer as the day goes on. 26 degrees in the sunshine at Macau. The finest way to enjoy Macau. Blue skies and sunshine, and that is precisely what we have here.
Like a Hellcat.